Well, we're gonna go back and mount that camera now.
Dude, I do not.
You don't want to
trust mounting that camera on.
Jamie, if you gaff tape it down once it's suction, it's not going anywhere, man. That suction's just not gonna work at all.
You tape it on the top right there?
I was just gonna bring it over to this one and latch it, but
I will watch that footage, but I'm not gonna be the one to push for mounting that camera.
I am mounting it.
I don't think it'll stand.
Yeah, well, I am.
Or I bet it will stand. I just don't. I know that it could.
Well, guess what? It's gonna happen. So let's stop saying it's not gonna happen. It's gonna happen. This is the way we can.
And if you talk to Amanda Fox, she was stressing out because she was our production manager trying to schedule each shot all in that same day. And we were taking way too long for this one shot that wasn't even planned. She was also in charge of slating every shot. And we never done the slate, but Eryn, I don't know what it is about him. He just loves saying the word slate. He was doing it all day just to piss us off.
I want to get it in this take, so let's get the slate.
Slating Richard. That's good right there. And bring the bucket with you. There you go. Perfect. Slating Jamie, Richard, get ready to get slated here in just a sec.
Let's get the slate. Richard, slate. Jamie, slate. You got the slate?
The animation was probably the most interesting part because no one's ever done this before. None of us have done it before. Scott had never done it before. It was one of those things where we had to live and learn on site. So we have this canvas of a dirty car window, and you create a scene, and then you want to animate that. You got to take that image you just created and basically erase everything and then recreate it 1 centimeter over, which meant you dirtied up everything else surrounding that image.
Try not to obliterate this line. I'm gonna make this one.
And when you combine all those frames together, then you have a motion sequence. The process of animating in dust took anywhere from 2 to 20 minutes per frame, depending on how intricate the details were.
I just got 3 frames. All of our equipment has dust in it. As you can see, our laptop's wrapped with saran wrap. Our cameras are wrapped with saran wrap. There's a dust pile growing around here. You can feel it in your teeth. If you really pay attention to the details of the paintings, especially the first painting on the side window, it heavily relates to the story that we had in mind and that Jamie had come up with in terms of the sequence of events and what's actually happening to the lead girl and the Montañozo, the mountain man who are on the run.
It took about 17 hours, and I think we did about 130 frames total, give or take a few.
all we are is dust in the wind.
We got to get a beer in here, man.
Pull that shit off. We need some beer.
It's a
Yeah, I can't do that without beer. I'm damn tea.
Oh, real ale.
Real ale.
Thank
Mango.
you, Real Ale, for the keg. That was awesome.
Thank you, Real Ale.
Every little piece has evolved in this video. You know, you start with one idea and it turns into another, and that sparks another idea. So it's really cool to see what it's actually come to, and then I'm sure there's going to be some more evolution in the post-production. Rendering Rob is the mastermind behind the editing process. He's a real true genius when it comes to editing video. Rob did about 6 different color correction passes. And when I say a color correction pass, I mean he color corrected the whole video from start to finish, shot by shot, and then wasn't happy with it. So he did it all again. And then he wasn't happy with that, so he did it all again. So knowing that the color was so important to this video, we hired Gypsy Sun to style and wardrobe all the characters, and they just killed it. They did an awesome job.
When I first started doing the color correcting, there were only a few shots that had been picked out ahead of time for that selective coloring effect. When the band comes around the corner, Jose's red shirt was really emphasized, Eryn Brooke when she leans out of the car and looks back at Scott. But after watching a few rough cuts, Aaron Brown began to think that every shot needed to have that effect.
A couple of things that were pretty funny. The band, as the band's coming around the corner, we had to film that about 4 or 5 times. And, you know, we basically outfitted these guys with a bunch of tools that we had in our studio. Sweet Lou's carrying a couple saws, you know, Adrian's swinging his chain. stuff we had laying around, these guys picked up and said, these will be our weapons. You know, as they're coming around the corner, Greg, all he had was this roll of duct tape, and he would stretch it out. And the sound of that was so funny to the band.
I'm sorry, dude. I heard the duct tape, dude.
So if you look at that shot, you'll see Keno in the background actually laughing. But we decided to keep that shot in because Speedy Gonzalez, the trombone player, has this perfect kind of like, he rubs his mouth and does that type of thing, and it just worked perfectly with the music. So we decided to keep that take. Grupo Fantasma is just one of the hardest working bands out there. James Brown was known as the hardest working man in show business. I think nowadays Grupo has definitely taken over that role. Going to Iraq multiple times to play for the troops. They do world tours. I mean, these guys have been working for over 10 years, making some of the most amazing music, and they've stayed really true to their craft and their artistic style. And I just think that these guys are due for a big break. I feel like 2011 is going to be the year for these guys. They've done it all, man. And it's time that they start getting the respect they deserve. They're amazing live, their albums are amazing, so it's really an honor to work with a band like that. And I love doing music videos with Grupo because it's so chill. They come out, we have a few beers, we get dressed up, you know, film a little bit. It's always fun. And so I just want to thank Grupo for trusting Onion Creek Productions to do some of your music videos. It's just a blast, and I thank National Geographic for giving us the opportunity as well.
Hey, stay tuned for the premiere of a brand new video. So check it out, brand new right here.
Ya no sé qué cantarte o decirte, hermano. Todo lo que sé trabajo, ya estoy cansado. Ya no sé qué cantarte o decirte, hermano. Todo lo que sé trabajo, ya estoy cansado. Me prometieron el mundo que no siguiera la ley. Siempre me están preguntando